Welcome back. It's been nearly 40 years, but justice for the murdered Xhosas 3 and their families might be in reach. MK member Tolamedi Mfalapita allegedly conspired with the FARC Plus security branch to kill the Congress of South African Students members using explosives. The National Prosecuting Authority has expressed confidence in the case, even though the incident happened in February 1982. Masego Rahlaga is at the South Gauteng High Court this morning. Masego, what are you seeing in court today?
Well, we are already seeing ANC members in court to support the families of the four who are here. One of them, as you know, Musi. He passed away from COVID-19 complications earlier this year. But of course, he was the sole survivor of that attack back in 1985. He was the sole survivor, but he was badly injured. And our understanding from the history of that is that he was arrested because he was found with the explosives that killed his friends on that fateful day. And he was accused of having or being in possession of those explosives. But of course, we know that that was a lie. And in fact, his friends were murdered. And there was there was an attempt to murder him as well. And what's sad with his case is that he is the one who actually knew the perpetrator or the alleged perpetrator of this crime. He had just come back from being an MK official, and he was asking him to please assist him to go into exile so that they can assist in the fight against apartheid. And little did he know at the time that he was, getting himself and his friends into a trap. But I do have with me Nomvula Mokonyane from the ANC. Very sad case today to have to bring these families here to find out and to hear from the person who, allegedly committed this horrific crime.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Yes, it's a very sad case. The Xhosas 4 were my own personal friends and neighbors in Kagiso. And the ANC has come to accept what's going to happen here because it will reveal all the other things that were never revealed at the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Secondly, it does actually open the old wounds 40 years ago. But of importance is that we need to make sure that justice is seen and justice gets done. Unfortunately, these are people that some of them are known to the affected families. Today, as we gather here, the families have also made a call that all they want to see is justice. And from our side as the African National Congress, it also poses a serious responsibility to reflect as to the credibility of what was presented at the TRC.
Mama, would you agree with people then who say that the ANC failed because the TRC commission happened, there were recommendations made, there were people who needed to be prosecuted and the families have had to wait this long?
In fact, what must be appreciated is that even though the will of justice have taken this long, at least we are now gathered here to a certain extent to find closure, but also to reopen the contradictions that the old regime presented before the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. So the ANC in its own state would not have been able to do the investigations. We embraced the process of the Truth and Reconciliation, and we were not aware that there is this information that was presented there. So the ball is in the court of the old apartheid regime and the accused to now reveal and help us to understand exactly who was behind this and what were the intentions, because they took away lives, very young comrades who were determined to fight for the liberation of our country.
Well, as you heard, it was very important for us to speak to Mam Nomvula because she is from Kagiso and these were her neighbors. But we have a family member of Ndata Zandisile Musi, who is the one I was telling you about, who is injured and has passed away recently. Condolences, very painful past to have to revisit. I don't know how related you are to him. If you could just explain that to us and tell us, some of the stories he used to tell you about that day. I mean, he's the only one who survived.
Well, first of all, I'm Mbulelo Musi. I'm the elder brother to Zandisile Musi. We're two of us who went to exile. My late brother passed away in Canada, Lungisa Musi. So in Zando, on the day that he unfortunately got trapped and lured into a death trap, was trying to follow us in exile. I left in 1976 in August. And then what happened is that the guy who trapped him, who today will be going to be seen in court, and hopefully we'll see others as well, because our belief is that she was not alone in plotting this dastardly act. We're happy that today that there's justice. It's very painful for us. 40 years we've been waiting for justice. It's not only sad for us and very painful, opening a wound of 40 years. We've got the Madikelas here, we've got the Matavanes here, we've got the Kapos here. So we're all coming to say, at least, justice has come. It's quite painful to open a wound. However, we're happy that at last we will know the truth. And we're here for nothing else but the truth. We believe that the truth is there. Only then can we really heal. It's unfortunate it comes when our grandparents have died. We have been waiting for this day. Parents have died. Brothers have died. My brother just as we were about to get justice, we're burying him in July on the 3rd. One of the victims, Musi. It hurts. It's too deep. But at least it has come. Let's hope that this day will give us a day in which we want to believe. At least the healing moment has come.
Thank you so much, Mbulelo. Well, very sad to hear that from him. And I did read in those articles I was reading, that his brother was in fact trying to follow him to fight for the freedom of this country. We know of names such as Joe Mamasela, one of the people who turned askari. And he, in fact, on that fateful day, we understand, was the one who pretended to be the driver and drove these young boys to their death, and one of them to being very badly injured.
Masego, thank you so much. Masego Rahlaga in Joburg. Very painful to hear one of the family members of the Khosa 3 describing the pain and the suffering they've had to endure for almost 40 years. But like he said, at least justice has now arrived.